Hey everybody, welcome to Ongaku Concept. This week is going to be a bit of a, I guess not a shorter episode, but a less produced video. Because I am very busy on a certain project that I will let you guys know more about in the near future. But for the next few weeks, these episodes are going to be a lot less produced. Just going to try and, I still want to get content out, but I'm not going to be able to produce it to quite the level that I would prefer. That said, we're going to go over some stuff, and it'll be fun. So, today, I am looking at the Galgun Double Piece opening theme. So, from the little that I've seen of this game, it's pretty much garbage. I'm not even, not even just from where I stand on, like, the content, side of things, but just from a writing perspective. But I'm not really going to go into that. That's not the point of this. It's not a writing analysis, although I'd love to do that someday. But that doesn't mean it doesn't have good music. So, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take a look at this opening theme. I'm going to listen to it. We're going to see just what kinds of stuff is going on. What's going on with the harmony, the arrangement, how things are working together. And it can be, it's not going to be super in-depth, but I can show you kind of how I go about analyzing songs and what I'm listening for and just kind of what's going on. All right, so let's not delay. Let's look at this. Nice. All right, so right off the bat, first of all, this is a really dark, really dry mix. I really love that. I don't know. I like dark mixes. Okay. When I say dark, I mean it's not very heavy on the treble. It's really sitting in there really nicely in the lower mids. It has a nice kind of warm, cozy feeling to me. Let's see. Yeah, it's very dry. There's not a huge amount of like reverb on the drums or anything like that. For some reason I don't like the way the hi-hat lasts for 2 bars. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I would prefer it if it was just 1 bar. I always approve of kick, snare, startings. That sounds like a 7 sharp 9 chord to me. Actually, let me check the key on my guitar. In any case, right off the bat, we have a very intense kind of opening. And yeah, 7 sharp 9 chords are nice and dissonant. It's probably the 5 chord of this, either that or the 1. Okay, so it's in D. Yeah, it's a D7 sharp 9. That's also called the Hendrix chord because Jimi Hendrix used it a bit. Or there's a song, I don't remember the name of the song, but he made it very popular. It's basically a dominant 7, so D, F sharp, A, C, and then we have a sharp 9, which would be E sharp here. It's really, really nice chord. Yeah. Alright, so we're getting a lot of the sort of bluesy kind of modal mixture that you get in rock music like this. I talked about modal mixture a couple weeks ago in my video on the Pokemon Go music. It's basically the idea where you take the major scale and the minor scale, you mix them together. It's really common in rock music. And yeah, this is really fantastic examples of that. We also have like the flat 5 in there, just all kinds of bluesy stuff. It's really nice. I love that. Okay. So I think it's really interesting the way the tempo slowed down there for the verse. Not the tempo. Like the drums started playing in halftime. So instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it was 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the snare is hitting on the 3 instead of the 2 and 4. It's called halftime. Basically, we've kind of cut the tempo in half. essentially, at that point. Really has that, it really lets the syncopation kind of shine through on the guitars. You can hear the guitars playing in between beats. Yeah. So that really is, that's a really funky vibe. I really like it. This whole thing sounds so far like, I wouldn't be surprised if it was composed by Gene, the guy who did like the Makaku City Actors stuff. It kind of sounds like something he would do. Just this whole style. However, I did want to point out. For some reason, I feel like the transition there between playing in halftime and then playing in standard time when the drum goes back to the hitting the snare on the 2 and 4. I feel like it's a little bit awkward to go from that slow to the quick tempo. Really, I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit awkward. Okay, so we have this is obviously a pre-chorus of some kind. We have like these chords that are just kind of building up, just literally just moving up the scale, the harmonized scale. So let's see. So we have like 4, 5, 1, 5 in first inversion, 6. Was that a secondary dominant? Yes, I think I heard maybe a 5 of 2. I don't know. It's just there for just a moment. I think the guitar just kind of like, oh, I'll throw this in here, just to kind of pull down to the 2 chord, which should be happening next. Yes, it does. All right, so we have the 2, 3. Yeah. All right, so we have the 2 chord, the 3 chord, the 4 chord. Again, we're just climbing up. 2 chord is a subdominant. It's a movement chord. Just we're getting things moving. It's a pre-chorus. Let's get some energy going. So 2, 3, 4. We're climbing up. 4 changes to a minor chord. I like that. That's the minor chord there, just to kind of extend that 4 a little bit, get a little more tension in there to go make things uncomfortable before we find a way to resolve. Yeah. Also, we have so there's the 5 chord, and it's very clear we're heading into a chorus because the 5 chord's the dominant. It's building. That's the height of the tension. So. Another thing to keep in mind was the instruments. We had some more instruments being added as that pre-chorus went along. So just kind of making the whole spectrum a little bit busier, adding to the energy that's being built up. Let's listen to that again. Also, that whole like the do 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 do, that whole thing was just kind of playing around the 5 chord. So next, I'm expecting to hear the 1. Nope, 4. All right, let's listen to the chorus. I don't know why I wasn't expecting this. I like it. Let's go back and take a listen to that. All right, so right here, I don't know why I wasn't expecting this already. This is called the Royal Road progression. Basically, you go 4, 5, 3, 6. It's a very, very, very common progression in Japanese music. I've talked about it before in depth. Although in this case, so we have the 4 major 7. Assuming this is still in D. Let me check if it's still in D. Yes, it is. All right, so we have G major 7, A, F sharp minor 7. Ordinarily, we'd have B minor 7 there, the last bit. Let's see. All right, so the next chord would be B minor 7, but instead, we have B7, so the third has been raised a semitone. It's a secondary dominant, just kind of provides a brighter, just a bit of a different sound. It kind of stands out a lot more. It also leads into that 2 chord right there. So it went from B7 to E minor 7. And then it was like A7 sharp 5, I think. It was definitely an altered 5 chord. Yeah. And then the 1 and kind of just some sort of riff around that. There's a lot of so the synth here is like doing some like little fills or sporadically. Yeah, just kind of adding textures and just little things to kind of fill in the spectrum. I mean, there's a lot of syncopation going with the guitars. They're kind of starting and stopping and stuff. So the synths kind of keep the flow going and keep. So you still have that syncopation, but there's always something playing at any given time, if that makes sense. So that was pretty much the same thing for 5. And then instead of the 3 chord, we built up to that with a secondary dominant. So I think there was probably so with the 3 chords, F sharp minor 7, there was probably like an F sharp over A sharp in there, going up to this time. Does it go on B minor 7 or B7? Yeah, it goes to B minor 7 this time. And then we get a quick secondary dominant. It's been altered. Not sure what it is. It's probably like a D7 sharp 5 or something like that. I don't know. All right, so we get a 2, 5, and then it doesn't resolve to the 1. Where does it go? I guess it does, but it's instead of resolving to like D major, we go on C first for this kind of riff, and it plays around with D7. So that's it's a bit unexpected, I guess, because we've kind of established a major key at this point, and so to kind of suddenly switch back to this sort of modal mixture thing with D and D minor is a bit unexpected, but I like it. I think it sounds really nice. Yeah, ending on a D7 chord. It's really, really nice. So, overall, I really did talk more about the harmony than anything, just because I think that's what I enjoy focusing on. But, okay, so this is a really funky song. A lot of syncopation going on. It's a pretty simple format, just drums, bass, couple guitars, vocals, and some synths kind of spread around to fill in the space a bit. Honestly, I don't know that I really like the inclusion of the synths. The brass was really nice. You know what? Actually, I think if we had the brass keep going instead of synths, because the brass was really nice in the intro. I wish there was more of that as the piece moved along. I feel like that would have kept with the theme a little bit better. So yeah, so it's a really nice track. The melody, I didn't really notice anything super special about the melody. I'm not super good at analyzing those, but it wasn't bad for sure. There was nothing like super spectacular about it to me. Maybe it was a bit. I mean, I'm trying to remember it. I can't. I don't remember how the melody went. And so now, if it's anything like most like J-pop music that I hear, it probably could use a little bit more repetition, because J-pop tends to kind of avoid the standard repetition that we see in like more Western pop music, and I think that's great. But if you have too little of that, it's difficult to kind of establish your themes, and that can make melodies kind of difficult to remember. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing. I was just pointing it out that it's not super memorable to me for that reason. So, particular things to note about this song. Number one, the use of modal mixture, and the way that that's heavily used in the intro and the outro, and it's kind of dropped in the middle sections. It's just something interesting to note how that use of modal mixture kind of changes the way the song feels at different points. Another thing to pay attention to is the way in like the pre-chorus, the way the chords climb upwards to add energy, to kind of build up to that chorus. But overall, it's a really nice song. It's not, I wouldn't say it's like the most memorable thing I've heard, but it's pretty good. It's pretty darn good. And if this was on iTunes, I'd get it. So that's all for this week. Please, let me know in the comments what your observations are about this song, or if there's anything you think you would observe differently than I. If you have any suggestions, because I might do some more of these analyses in the coming weeks. If you have any suggestions for songs to analyze, please let me know. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next week.